Meaning of business environment, what exactly the business environment is. In short, the business environment encompasses the internal and external factor that influence the company's operation. Helps in tapping useful resource. See what happens. So it is beneficial for tapping the useful resource that is available in the organization, whether it is a human resource or financial resource. Assist with the competitors. Okay, so here what happens is we are supposed to assist with the competitors to take the competitive advantage on the competitor. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject called Business Environment, that is for third semester BBA students. Today we are in session 1 of Unit 1. It's about Introduction to the Business Environment. This is the agenda of today's session. We are going with the introduction to the business environment, followed by meaning and definition of business environment, nature of business environment, scope of business environment, and importance of studying the business environment. Why this studying the business environment is important for the business entity. Introduction. So what exactly the business environment is? The term business environment means the sum of total of individuals, institutions, and other factors that are outside the control of the business enterprise, but they may affect its performance, that we call it as a business environment. So here they mean to say there are various factors that is external to the business which does not belongs to the business, but also those factors are affecting the business environment, that we call it as a business environment. Meaning of business environment, what exactly the business environment is. In short, the business environment encompasses the internal and external factor that influence the company's operation. So, as I said in the introduction session, this business environment consists of two environment. One is internal environment, second one is external environment. Means these are the internal factors and the external factor which influence the business environment, that we call it as a internal environment and external environment, or internal environmental factor or external environmental factor. When it comes in terms of internal environment factor, okay, so these factors are inside the organization which affects the operations of organization. I repeat, okay, when it comes in terms of internal environment, okay, so these are all the internal environment factors which affect the operation of the business environment, that we call it as the internal environment, which is inside the organization. When it comes in terms of external factors, these factors are outside the organization. This factor does not have any kind of the relationship with the organization, but these factors affect the organization. Okay, means these external factors affect the operations of the organization or the business entity. We call them as a external factors. We need to consider both internal and external factors. When it comes in terms of internal environment, okay, so can be easily controlled by making rules, regulations, policies, vision and mission. Okay, because it is inside the organization. Inside the organization is completely in our control. Okay, so whatever the rules that we make, whatever the regulation that we make, whatever the decision that we take, okay, so it is in our control completely. Okay, that we call it as the internal environment. But when it comes in terms of external environment, okay, it is not in our hand. Okay, it is not in our hand. We cannot completely control the external environmental factors. Again, this external environmental factors is been classified into two categories. One is micro factor, second one is macro factor. When in the name itself, it is going to say micro factor which is small in nature, macro factor which is large in nature. Okay, micro factors up to some extent we can control, after that we cannot control. When it comes in terms of macro factors, we could not able to control the macro factors, hence we must get adjusted to the macro factors, that we call it as a macro environment. Micro environment, macro environment, it is a part of external environment. Hence I mean to say these factors directly or indirectly affecting the business environment. Hence, we must consider these factors in a business environment because it affects the business environment. Nature of business environment. So, business environment have its own nature or the characteristics. Dynamic in nature means the name itself, it is going to say that, okay, it changes from one time to another time, it changes from one trend to another trend, generation to generation, that we call it as a dynamic in nature, always changing, it does not remains constant, it keep on changing from one time to another time, trend to trend, generation to generation, it get updated. Uncertain, hard to predict, the name itself, it is going to say it is uncertainty, okay, means there is a possibility of risk, okay, there is a possibility of losses, okay, the business itself, it is a complete risk of uncertainty, okay, the profit may happen and in the same way the loss may also happen. Is there any business which make only profit without loss? Is there any business which make only loss without profit? Right? So we are supposed to consider both the things. The name itself is going to say that, okay, the business environment is completely the risk of uncertainty. Profit also may happen. There's a possibility of loss also. We must get ready for both the things, that we call it as a uncertain in nature. Competitive, many business competitors. Okay, see what happens. Business is a competitive environment because we can notice a number of competitors for a same group or the same kind or the same category of product. Okay, so it is competition, and in the same way, to face the competition, the entrepreneur must make what the competitive advantage of the product is or no. So by doing the analyzing the market, by going with the consumer behavior, by going with the study of the competitors, okay, so we are supposed to go with the competitive analysis, followed by interconnected. So everything is linked. See what happens is, as I said, this business environment is classified into two categories. One is internal environment followed by external environment. Okay, so this internal environmental factors and external environmental factors are interconnected to each other. Okay, so it affects each other, interconnected to each other. Hence, these two factors do affect the business entity. Done. Multidimensional. So, business is multidimensional in nature. Means, when it comes in terms of business, we start with the small kirana shop till big malls. There are various dimensions of a business entity, that we call it as a multi-dimensional, various dimensions. Okay, means it may be a small petty shop followed by a small kirana shop, a small provision store, followed by a departmental store, followed by a mall. So no, so there are various dimensions for a business, that we call it as a various dimensions, many factors affecting the business, followed by global. So as we are aware of the globalization, the international business, so the business environment is global in nature. Always the entrepreneur, he look forward regarding the growth of the business, that is regarding the globalization, expansion of the business, spreading of the business to the foreign countries. Regulatory, there are certain regulations which must followed by the business entity. It may be the Labor Act, it may be the Companies Act, it may be the Cooperative Society Act, right? So there are certain acts which must be followed. Opportunistic, full of new chances. See what happens is, there are a number of opportunities that is available in the society. It totally depends upon the how exactly the business is gonna utilize that opportunity. Means there are a number of business, number of organization for the same field or the same sector, but the thing is only few business can survive and most of the business get closed. What is the reason? It totally depends upon the plan, strategy or the policy that they are going to adopt and implement. Followed by the scope of business environment. There are various factors that I can say when it comes in terms of scope of a business environment, policies and the strategies. So each and every organization have its own policies and strategies which must be implemented, and it differs from one organization to another organization. If it is the same sector also, it differs from one organization to another organization. None of the organization are gonna disclose the policies and the strategies to their competitors. Then, so these are the policies and the strategies. So the success or the failure of the organization totally depends upon the policies or the strategies that is being formulated by the organization. If it is surviving in the nature, if it is in a growth stage, or if it is in a maturity stage, so totally depends upon the policies and the strategies that is being formulated by the board of directors of the organizations. Improves business image. Okay, so what happens? The goal of the business is looking forward towards the success of organization. See, what happens is we are supposed to compare tomorrow with today and yesterday with today. When compared to yesterday, we must feel today is better than yesterday. When compared to tomorrow, we must get developed when compared to today, that is tomorrow. Then in the same way, business also, we are going to compare the tomorrow with today. So we are supposed to plan the vision policy, right? So what we are supposed to become tomorrow, what is the future goals of the organization, what are the future objectives of the organization, design it today itself and work towards the achievement of that particular goals or the objectives of organization. Rapid changing adaptation. See, what happens is we are supposed to get adapt for the situation, we must get adapt for the generation, we must get adapt for the trend. Okay, see, what happens is the trend, the generation, okay, must get updated from time to time. Okay, means one time to another time, it keep on changing from one time to another time, generation to generation. And as soon as the generation keep changing from one time to another time, we must also get updated, the business entity must also get updated with the change. So we must keep changing as per the trend, as per the generation, as per the technology, as per the environment, as per the customers' needs and wants. So now, because I can say earlier, the old marketing concept was, so whatever the product that we manufacture must be purchased by the people or the consumers. But today, that is customer centric approach. Whatever the customers they are gonna purchase, we need to facilitate them the same kind of the product. We are supposed to customize the product as per the convenience of the customer, that we call it as a rapid changing adaptation. We must adapt the changes and keep moving in the business environment for the growth and the development. Policies formulation and planning. So we need to formulate the policies, procedure, vision, mission and plan for the future goals. Identify opportunities and threats. So we are gonna go with a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. So, and we are supposed to analyze the opportunities that is available in the market and capture the opportunities followed by the trends. We must get updated as per the trend. Okay. And in the same way, analysis of competitors. See, what happens is in this competitive world, we must make sure about the competitive analysis regarding our competitor, at what price he is gonna sell, on what process he is going to manufacture the product, what quality of the product he is been facilitating, what quantity of the product he is going to facilitate, at what price he is going to offer for the customer, how his marketing activity is going to happen, and in the same way how exactly the sales is going to happen, how exactly he is going to manufacture the product. Okay, means these are all the things we must be aware of this. Based on this criteria, we must formulate a plan, we must formulate a strategy and implement it for the growth and the development of our business. So that is the main aim of the business. Assist with the competitors. Okay, so here what happens is we are supposed to assist with the competitors to take the competitive advantage on the competitor. Resources of use. Okay, see, what happens is in the business entity, we must utilize all the resource in the optimistic way. Optimum utilization of resource that we are going to learn in the human resource management. See, what happens is whether it is a financial resource, whether it is a human resource, so we are supposed to do what? Optimistic utilization of the resource for the benefit of our company, and in the same for the benefit of our organization, to minimize the cost of production. See, what happens if we minimize the cost of production, automatically the profit margin get increased. Okay, it lead for the success of organization. Followed by importance of studying the business environment. So there are certain important factors that we need to consider while studying the business environment. So which factor must be considered while studying the business environment? It enables the firm to identify the opportunities and get the first mover advantage. See, what happens is, so this business environment, the business entity always keep finding for the opportunities. If there is opportunity available in the market, our company must be the first company which must capture the opportunity, which must seize the opportunity completely. Okay, means taking into the complete control of the organization and formulate a plan, strategy, develop a product and launch in the market, so that we can get a easy success in the market. So that is opportunistic, that I can say. Helps the firm in identifying threats and early warning signal. So we are gone with the certain analysis, that is the market analysis, the competitive analysis, and in the same way the consumer behavior. So it is going to show the indicator of risk. Okay, means what happens? So before we plan, before we implement, we are going with the different kind of the analysis based on the experimentation. It is going to highlight our project if there is a possibility of losses, if there is a possibility of failure. Okay, so it is going to highlight. Helps in tapping useful resource. See what happens. So it is beneficial for tapping the useful resource that is available in the organization, whether it is a human resource or financial resource. Helps in coping with the rapid change. So the business environment, the name itself, it is going to say that, okay, so it keep on changing. It is dynamic in nature. It is not static, which does not remains constant. It must get updated as per the trend and generation, as per the desires, wants and needs of the customers. Helps in better reputation and building corporate image. See, building the corporate image and also to build the reputation is the main goal of the business organization, where if it build the good image of the organization, that is regarding the goodwill, okay, so the value of that particular entity get increase in the market. Means there are a number of organizations, there are a number of companies which can easily recognized, and there are a number of companies which cannot easily recognized it just because of the image or the brand image of the particular entity. Say for example, if I say Infosys, the people easily get recognized. If I say Wipro, they get recognized. If I say Flipkart, Amazon, they are going to recognize. So if I say any company name, okay, so which cannot be recognized because they doesn't have any brand image and they had not made a good goodwill. Okay, so that is regarding the recognition and the reputation of the company. Helps in continuous learning and improving performance. See what happens is this helps in improving the performance of the organization, the functionality of the organization, the functions of the organization, and also they are going to compare today with tomorrow and today with yesterday for the success. Followed by the next session, we are going to go with the internal and the external environment, means the difference between internal environment and external environment, and also the factors affecting micro and macro environment in depth. Means this is the main topic that we need to learn, because whatever the syllabus that is been formulated by University of Mysore, that is included in macro environment. Done. Thank you.